So I have a question for you. What is the difference between the Nissan transponder keys, the NI01T and the NI02T? Now this is a very common question, and if you're new into transponder key programming or just automotive key programming in general, chances are one place or another you've seen both of these part numbers or sometimes both of them, and it's like, why are they there? What's going on? So not only do I want to fill you in on this information, but I want to give you all the details that you're going to need to know on the Nissan transponder keys NI01T and NI02T. And of course, all of this information is compiled into a PDF document for quick reference in the notes below, so you want to make sure you check that out. So when it comes to the Nissan transponder keys, NI01T and NI02T, there is one difference between them. As you can see here, here's a picture of the two of them, and the difference is the head shape. That's it. It's actually really that simple. The blades are the same, the chips are the same, the only difference is the head shape. So when it comes to ordering, you can really just pick one and stick with it. And the NI02T head, for whatever reason, is actually more popular. So from now on, I'm just going to be referring to these two keys as the NI02T. Now these transponder keys were used from about 1999 up until about 2006. So it's a decent year range. Now, when it comes to the chip, okay, it's going to be using a Texas Instruments encrypted 4D-60. So it is an encrypted chip and it is reusable, meaning if it was programmed to one vehicle, you can actually reprogram that chip to another vehicle. It is my understanding that there is a limit to how many times it can be reused. The information is a little murky, so just keep that in mind, but I mean, as a general rule of thumb, you can definitely just reuse the chip. And it really, if you think about it, I mean, what are the odds you're gonna encounter a chip that has been programmed to 3 or 4 different vehicles? I mean, if you ask me, that's probably gonna be a pretty interesting situation to begin with. Now, as far as the test key, you're gonna wanna use the DA34 blank. The good news about this is not only does Nissan have older vehicles that actually use that blank, but it's the same keyway profile as the NI04T, which is the transponder that came after the NI02T. So it's a blank you definitely wanna keep plenty around in, because not only for those two transponders, but for the older stuff as well. Now, when it comes to the chipless key, I like the JMA chipless keys, all right? I think they're really high quality, they've been around a while, and you know that they work and they don't fall apart. Now, I have a little extra hack for you with this one though, all right? Because like I was saying a few moments ago, the NI01, 02, and 04 all use the same key profile. All right, so if you want to reduce inventory and or cover the maximum amount of coverage with as few part numbers as possible, you can actually just use the NI04 chipless key. All right, now the head is going to be a little different, okay? But the way I look at it, the NI04T transponder key, the one that goes after this, I'll put a link to the notes for the video for that one. Essentially, it has double the volume as the NI02T. So by using that, you know, when you need to, you know, use a chipless key, just use the NI04. The part number is the TP00DAT-15.P3. Now when it comes to the code series, it also uses the exact same code series as the NI04, all right? And that is the 1-2-22,185. And when it comes to key duplication, you're gonna duplicate this key exactly the same way you would duplicate a NI04T. So let me go and play this little quick clip for you where I'm going over quickly on how to duplicate it. All right, so here we are at the machine, and here's the NI04T key that we're going to be duplicating. Now I'm just going to be using the DA34 test key for this, okay, because this is just for the video, but here's another NI04 or NI04, see what I did there? And so what we need to do now is we need to get this set up. Now, as you can see, anytime a key has these big grooves in here like this one does, I typically like to actually bring it over to the jaw C or jaw 3. However, it doesn't work very well because due to the depth of the cuts, depending on your machine, and you get it on the groove. The cuts obviously have to stick up higher than the key, and I find it kind of problematic using jaw 3. So you want to check it on yours if you can use it, but for the most part, you're just going to be sticking to jaw 1 or A, depending on your machine manufacturer. Now, typically, right, I'm going to get my little space bar in here, and I'm going to put it in the furthest one, right? This key does not have a shoulder stop alignment, so it's going to be a tip stop alignment. And typically, you'd go ahead and put the key in just like this, right? And I guess I can move the camera over here a little bit, or move the machine so you can see. And typically, you'd put it in like this. Now, this is the deal. I actually do not like to do it this way, and let me tell you why. And that's because when we go ahead and we look at the key, okay, and if we look up at how much, meat's on the bone, so to speak, where these cuts are, okay, because that's what we're gripping onto on the back of this key, right, where my finger's going right there. That's what we're gripping onto. And when you put it on the machine on the jaw like this, bring it up there, you can see, there's not a lot of material for the jaw to grip on, which can cause you problems. So what I like to do is just take use the same bar, and just hold it at the end, okay? So I'm just going to put the key in just like this. So hold it up there. Obviously, make sure you have everything centered, or aligned, I should say, and straight. And then just put it in just like that, okay? And then we're going to do the same thing. I'm going to move this back over. We're going to do the same thing over here. So I find by doing this, because if you look now, we're gripping on the key from right here on the blade. Let me bring this back over, sorry. On the blade here, we're gripping all of this good meat right here. And then, we also have just a little grip over here. By doing that, that's going to allow, when we're duplicating, the key to not flip out of the jaw, okay? So just keep in mind, try to, do it like this. It's a good way to do it. So let me go ahead, bring this back over, and let's do the same thing over here. So it's gonna get this tip stop put up here, and we'll get that started in there a little bit. Get it put in, just tip stop it, just like that. We're good to go. So we're going to get that tightened down now, and let's duplicate. So it's going to bring it down and back. Now, of course, you just want to stop about right here. Don't hold it all the way to the tip. You want to bring it back. Just like that. Good to go there. So now we just got to flip this key over. So go ahead, bring the key around. Get it nice and tight. And we'll go ahead and duplicate the other side here. Down to the end. And there you have it. I'll put a little buff on and we'll be done. All right, so there you have it. All the information that I believe you need to give you confidence when dealing with the NI01T and NI02T Nissan transponder keys. I'd love to know your thoughts and comments in the notes below, and make sure you include the hashtag LockBoss to automatically get entered in to win one of 5 free prizes we give away every Tuesday. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you next time. Now these transponder keys were used from about 1999 up until about 2006. So it's a decent, Now as far as the code series goes, the code series is going to be a 1. And when it comes And when it comes to key duplication, as I've been alluding to a few